It is the Valenti and Rico show. I am Stoney in for Mike all week. He's just, lying back in his chair, having some sodas or whatever at Saratoga.
Stoney, I got to think he's having a great time.
Yeah.
I have not heard from this man one time, which means he is living his best life or he's lost all his money.
I think he's living his best life.
I think he's living his best life too. But yeah, like I said, normally there's and I love it because Mike, just enjoy yourself.
Right.
The world didn't burn down. Go live your life. So yes.
Look, I've been to Saratoga once, and it is really cool. I mean, obviously, I'm not as into horse racing now as I was when I was younger because of where I was living at the time and grew up with it, but not as much as Mike, obviously. But it's a beautiful setting, and a lot of times people wear quote unquote fancier clothes that they normally would do at another track. I don't know if Mike does that.
See, I thought Saratoga was more of a laid back place.
It is laid back, but like if you're like part of the VIP crew that probably Mike might be, he might occasionally, get dressed up real nice. I don't know. Anyway, it's a cool scene. It really is, and a lot of people just hang out on the lawn and do their thing.
So, but yeah, we were talking about Suarez's injury, and in the last segment, Stoney, I once again, I was blown away, didn't like it, and hopefully, it won't cost the Tigers. But I'm also the type of person. I don't like it when the team is rumored into things. I don't like it when the team is. Because normally the rumors never work out to how you want it to be. And then you know what? You end up disappointed.
Right.
Because you didn't get your guy. You didn't get that guy. I mean, it reminded me a lot of just back in football season when, the Max Crosby thing and you didn't get him. And now anybody that you get, that's all we got.
But we knew that there was no shot in hell they were getting Max Crosby.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden momentum started swelling and oh my goodness, we could do it and maybe he wants out and
that was more fan. This at least had, some respectable people talking about how the Tigers are in the hunt, so to speak. But we'll see what happens. We still have at 6:00 on Thursday, so we
got time.
Yeah, we got time. All right. Last night I watched half of, or I guess almost half of, the new sensation Happy Gilmore 2. And Happy Gilmore 1 was a fun movie. It wasn't, I don't think
it was entertaining.
Yeah, some people love that movie more than I did. To me, it was good. It was good. It wasn't great. Adam Sandler, for me, I think he's really talented. He has some hits and he has some misses. Like Jack and Jill, I think was that the name of that movie. That was like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. But it was okay. There were some really cool cameos, especially from golf people that were pretty funny. I don't want to spoil all of them. Dan Patrick is in there. Him and Adam Sandler are really good friends. Now, I know you like a lot of the sequels and Marvels and a lot of movies and things like that. When it comes to sports movies, are there any good sequels?
No. When it comes to sports movies, no, because most of the time, Stoney, it's always that in the end, it was like, you can't outdo this. Like, I don't think you can make Remember the Titans 2.
Right.
I don't think you can make certain movies, like the Major League movies. I
thought Major League 2 was good. Not as good as 1. Major League 3 was awful.
It was
Rocky, though.
Okay, you know what? Yes, Rocky.
Up to 4, right?
But it got cheesier, and that's what made it good, was it got cheesier and cheesier until in Rocky 4, I always laugh because I tell my class, it's the only movie that had a montage that led into a montage. The training sequence into something else. So when I think Rocky, yes, Rocky 4, Mr. T, Rocky 3. Okay, yes, the Rocky movies were.
Yeah.
But other than that, sports movies normally, because you can't And I'm never one for like, okay, let's bring this movie back after like Space Jam. Didn't need to see it the second time.
Well, come on, LeBron had to be Michael, right?
Right. Like, and it's and when this 30 years, like, do you really need? Because I'm a firm believer with the movies, and maybe I'm just a movie snob. Sometimes less is more.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes if the movie was a classic, let it go. If you're going to have a sequel to it, make it quick. 30 years later, sorry. You might as well just remake the whole thing and do it all over again. So I'm going to wait for the reviews. I thought the first movie was okay.
Yeah.
I watched it. I think I've seen a couple scenes, but I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. But normally when you wait 30 years later, the movie just doesn't live up to the hype. It just doesn't.
So what do you think are the worst sports movie sequels ever? Now, not that many, right? And B, what are the worst sports movies in general? Because everybody always does the best sports movies, and but what are the worst sports movies?
The worst sports movie. That's a good question.
I can tell you a movie that most people think is a bad movie, but I still enjoyed it. Was Draft Day.
Yeah, I was going to say Draft Day. Draft Day, because I had never seen it. And then I started working here, and they started making references. So one day I'm like, you know what? I was on a plane. I'm like, I'm just going to watch this. I got 4 hours to kill.
Second time I watched it was on a plane.
So, and I'm watching it, and I'm literally taking notes. So let me get this. And I guess it's okay if you know nothing about football.
Right.
And you just get wrapped up in the story. So let me get this straight. You have the first round pick. First of all, you're sleeping with somebody in the building. Coach is walking around in a jumpsuit that says coach on it. Like Dan Campbell walking through. Think about Dan Campbell walking through Allen Park, but he has to wear on a jumpsuit with the Lions logo that says Dan Campbell coach on his heart. Like, we don't know who you are. And then it's like, so wait, nobody did the research on the quarterback and whether somebody went to his birthday party, and nobody did the research on Chadwick Boseman to know who the woman was in the stands that he gave the football to. Are you serious? Like, the NFL knows, Stoney, they know everything about you. Look, say what you want. Yes, you can hit the siren. I have gotten calls about people going to the league where they will ask me questions of what this kid was like in high school. I've gotten some of those calls.
I'm sure.
Where they're like, hey, you knew this person. Could you give us a little bit of information about him? And I'm like, okay, well, this person's like this. They know everything.
Yes.
They talk to everybody. And oh, by the way, it's draft day. Let's go ahead and have a celebration for your dead father on the practice field on draft day. Yeah.
Obviously Cleveland is the headquarters, but they make the huge trade with Seattle.
Right.
That was actually offered to the Detroit Lions, and they turned it down.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was going to be the Lions?
It was going to be the Lions, and somebody in the organization or some people didn't want anything to do with it, even though it really didn't make them look bad. They ended up making a decent trade. If I remember correctly, it would have been great exposure for the Honolulu Blue and Silver.
All right. At the time, yeah, it would have been.
Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. It is the Valenti and Rico show with moi, Stoney, in for Valenti 97.1, The Ticket.